For the latest action figure news, check out Toy News International and marvelousnews.com, link in the description below. Thank you for the continued support to our online shop and YouTube channel. We are giving away a Marvel Legends Wolverine action figure once we reach 700 subscribers. Together Collectibles here for an action figure review. Today we are looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Lizard from the Spider-Man Retro Wave. He comes in a retro card packaging. We can see here Lizard with all of his accessories and an art from the animated series. And on the back we have the Lizard's bio and also an art as well. And here we can see a sticker celebrating Spider-Man's 60 amazing years. Desperate to be whole again, Curt Connors injects himself with a regenerative serum derived from reptile DNA only to find himself transformed into the monstrous lizard. Here we have Lizard with all of his accessories. He comes with an alternate head with his tongue out. You can see here it's yellow eyes and all of that sculpted details on his face. This is the head that we are accustomed to compared to the one that came out of the packaging, which is the classic head, the first appearance look of the lizard. So you have that one, and in terms of alternate hands, he comes with two more alternate hands. So here we have a holding or grabbing hand, and we have a fisted hand over here. So he also comes with a tail, which we will attach to the back. So here Hasbro has made a they molded it in a way that the lab coat will allow you to put the tail in place, which is a very clever way of designing this figure. Just plug in his tail and we have his tail now attached to him. And like what I said, this actually the shape actually fits well in terms of the lab coat. The lab coat, as you can see, is actually soft plastic. It is not bendable or shapeable to whatever how you would like it to be shaped, but it does a good job in terms of representing a lab coat. You might say that how come the Beast comes with a cloth lab coat and this one does not? Well, for the Beast, there are some cases wherein most of the time he does not wear his lab coat, but for the Lizard, he always wears his lab coat. So, the Lizard first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man number 6, published November 1963. Dr. Curt Connors' career as a surgeon ended when he lost his right arm. Desperate to be whole again, he studied reptiles because of their ability to regenerate missing limbs. He successfully created a potion to restore his right arm, but it came with a heavy price. He mutates into a human reptile, the Lizard. Spider-Man stands in his way as he seeks to conquer the world using all reptiles. Besides possessing the abilities and strength of a large lizard, he can mentally communicate and control all forms of reptiles within a 2-mile distance. Up close here we can see the classic head, the first appearance head of the Lizard. Some people may think it's funny because he doesn't come with any teeth, like he's teethless, but that is how the Lizard looked like during his first appearance. I like what Hasbro did here in terms of the head sculpt. There is shading of dark green and green on the scales of his head. And these are all sculpted details. In terms of his lab coat, it is the soft plastic which Hasbro always uses. So in terms of his arms, it is part of the lab coat. So even if you manage to remove the lab coat, we can see here the black shirt here won't match the white arm of the lab that has a lab coat. In terms of his pants, it's all purple. The body doesn't have any shading at all. It's just plainly colored purple and the blacks. But in terms of the exposed skin of the lizard, you can see here there is some sculpted details and some good shading of green and dark green. See here, the palm of his hands are sculpted really well. Same as for the other hand here. You can see the sculpted details, the sculpted lines. It's really good. In terms of his feet as well, there are peg holes at the bottom. And now we can see here, Hasbro has started putting the product number and some legalities down there, like 2022 Hasbro, Marvel. So it's just better than when they used to put it on the legs. So in terms of his feet, the scaly bits are there and sculpted and some shading. At least Hasbro is consistent in terms of how his skin is colored and sculpted. In terms of his tail, it's the same deal as well. There are some sculpted details. I mean, most of it is sculpted details. It's very scaly, and there's some dark green wash and a lot of wash there. It really makes the color green of this figure really makes it stand out, especially with different lights. You can see how well the figure looks like. The good thing about this tail, it has a bendy wire, so you can bend it a bit, but it does go back in shape somehow. But yeah, actually this one works fine, but there is some resistance, which is okay. It's expected because this rubbery plastic is supposed to move back a bit, but it does the job. It's really well done. Can you? Yeah, that's the best that you can. It can't really. I was thinking maybe you can wrap it around some figure's head, but it cannot. It just goes back. But this will do. I mean, it's really good that Hasbro made it bendable. At least you can have him pose like that, or I mean, you can make him pose in a more dynamic pose rather than having a fixed tail. I remember, like I think it was Sauron who has a fixed tail, but this is really good now that this has a bendy wire. The nice thing about this neck is you can see here the neck, it has a swivel. It can swivel right there. There is a swivel and there's a swivel here. It's really good because you can really like tilt him to one side and tilt him to the other side. You really look down. It's really a good design here in terms of the neck. Now, removing the neck, the head, sorry. You can see here the neck peg. There is some articulation there. Replacing it with the more common lizard look that we are accustomed to. Here we have him with his tongue right out and he has sharp teeth. As you can see here, his teeth is all white and then sharp. Again, the eyes are yellow for this one compared to the other one, which is the classic one, has the white eyes, black pupil, but this has yellow. Well sculpted as always. The shading on the head is superb. His tongue, it stays in its place. You can a little bit like move it or bend it a bit one side, but it mostly stays on this angle, like it goes to that side, going back like so there's no way for you to like shape the tongue according to how you like it. Like if you want it to go straight, you can't do that because it will just go back and snap into its old place. So in terms of his hands, we can remove this. As expected, it's just your regular hands, and replace it with this hand, the grabbing hand. So it's well sculpted as well. You can see the scales there. It's a scaly hand, and this is what you use in order to hold the flask. Just not sure what they're exactly called. You know, the scientist flask thing. So you just slide it there, and now you have him holding it. He also comes with another flask, which you can rest it on one hand. Let's just try. It's a balancing act, so he can hold both, like rest the other one on one hand, because the alternate hand it comes with it on the other's hand, on the right hand, is a punching hand. So we almost got the full set of hands. It would be nice if we had 2 punching hands and 2 grabbing hands, especially for its price point. We deserve a complete set of alternate hands, but this is what we got. So we have this one, which is like when it comes out of the packaging, we have this one. Actually, this one is like supposed to be his crawling hands. I was thinking it's just a relaxed open palm hand, but I think these are the hands that he used for crawling. So this is a little bit flat, and this one has like that bend, so he can grab the wall or something. So yeah, I mean, we didn't get a complete set of hands, but it is sufficient. I'm happy with one grabbing hand here for this flask, but I just wish that we had 2 punching hands, and probably it is too much to ask for Hasbro to give us really a complete set of hands, but it would be nice if we had it. Anyways, here we have him, and that's all of his accessories. Looking closely at the Erlenmeyer filter flask, we can see that the whole triangular shape of the flask is filled up with a red potion. On the top, we can see there is a hole leading to the inside of the flask, and at the bottom of the flask is a circle filled in red. It is different for the volumetric flask, wherein the yellow potion only fills a cylindrical shape inside the sphere-like flask. On the top, you can see a hole, and at the bottom, a small circle representing the cylindrical shape that the yellow potion occupies. The lizard action figure stands 16.5 centimeters or 6.5 inch tall. According to the 1991 Impulse trading card, Dr. Curt Connors stands 5 feet 11 inch tall, but as lizard he is listed as 6 feet 8 inch tall. Here are some Marvel Legends 6 inch scale size comparison, beginning with Miles Morales and Ben Reilly, Spider-Man. Next we have Shriek and Silver Sable. Next we have Doctor Doom from the Retro Fantastic Four wave and Mysterio from the Spider-Man Retro wave. Here we have Green Goblin and Electro. Here we have him beside Movie Venom and the Retro Rhino Deluxe action figure. Here we have him besides the Build-A-Figure Armadillo and the retro wave Kingpin. Next we have him with older Marvel Legends Build-A-Figures, Caliban and Sauron. I believe Sauron would be a good size comparison with the original Build-A-Figure Lizard. Next we have him beside 6-inch scale figures Mafex, Psylocke, and Gambit. Here we have him beside 6-inch scale figures Mafex, Wolverine, and the Mezco 112 Old Man Logan. Here we have him beside 6-inch scale Filipino action figure Darna and the 7-inch scale McFarlane Toys Batman Devastator. Other 7-inch scale figures we have Rogue and Gambit, Diamond Select Toys. Next we have Sabretooth and Hulk, also from Diamond Select Toys. For articulation, his head can move from side to side, and it has a great range because of how his head is. He can look up and down. His arms can extend that far. He can do a full 360 right here. He has a bicep swivel right here, double jointed finless elbows. His wrist can swivel, hinge forward and back. He has a swivel on the upper torso. He can crunch forward easily. He can crunch back, not that much because of his lab coat. He has a upper thigh swivel right here. He has double jointed knees, both pinless again. He has a hidden swivel here, and his feet can hinge forward and back, and he has an ankle rocker as well. As a collector, I was excited to hear that there is gonna be a new retro carded Lizard action figure. I was expecting that it would be somewhat a deluxe size Lizard, just like the Build-A-Figure, but painted differently or upgraded. I was surprised that it was actually the first appearance Lizard, wherein his size is not the monster size. The price do suggest that it should be somewhat a deluxe action figure. So it is not that bad to ask like for extra set of hands or other inclusions because this feels a little bit lacking. Nevertheless, this is a good looking Lizard action figure. Thank you for watching. I hope you check out other videos I have in this channel. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell.